Life is a test. This is not a metaphor, and it is not a motivational phrase. It is a reality that Allah states clearly in the Qur'an. Human beings were created to be tested, and every single thing we experience in this life, good or bad, is part of that test. Some people believe that only hardship is a test, but in reality, ease is also a test. Wealth is a test. Health is a test. Love is a test. Loss is a test. Everything we are given and everything taken from us is part of our examination. Allah repeatedly reminds us that this worldly life is temporary, unstable, and full of trials. Yet there are certain tests that are especially difficult, tests of pain, oppression, fear, and suffering. These are the moments when many people begin to question their faith. Why is this happening to me? If I am doing the right thing, why does life feel harder? If Allah loves me, why am I suffering? These questions are not new. They were asked by people far better than us. There was a time when believers were tortured for their faith. Some were mocked. Some were boycotted. Some were cut off from their families. Others were physically abused and burned, simply for believing in Allah and standing by the truth. One of them came to the Messenger of Allah in a state of unimaginable pain and grief, and asked a question that echoes through time. Why are we suffering when we are upon the truth? This question still lives in the hearts of believers today. Before asking why hardship has reached us, we must remember something essential. There were people before us who were far better than us, prophets and their followers, who endured far greater trials than we ever will. The Messenger of Allah was publicly humiliated for years. He was insulted, rejected, harmed, and threatened. Those closest to him suffered alongside him. He was forced to leave the land he loved. He experienced hunger, loss, grief, and constant danger. Yet he was the most beloved of Allah. This teaches us something crucial. Hardship is not a sign that Allah has abandoned you. Many people approach faith expecting worldly rewards. They assume that turning to Allah means problems will disappear, doors will automatically open, and life will become easy. But the Qur'an presents a very different reality. Allah does not promise us a life free of hardship. He promises us guidance, meaning strength, and reward beyond imagination. Allah says that human beings were created in toil and struggle. Life is exhausting, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Some struggles come from people. Some come from circumstances. Some come from within ourselves. A good life in the Qur'an is not defined by comfort, wealth, or status. A good life is when the heart is at peace with Allah. When storms rage outside, but calm remains inside. When everything shakes, but faith remains firm. Money can come and go. People can enter your life and leave it. Health can change. Status can vanish. But if faith remains intact, nothing of real value has been lost. True success is not measured by what the world sees. Look at the lives of the greatest believers. Many were homeless. Many were rejected. Many were threatened. Some were commanded to sacrifice what they loved most. Some were thrown into fire. Some were left alone in the desert. By worldly standards, their lives looked like failure. But in the sight of Allah, they were among the most successful human beings to ever walk the earth. Allah begins this powerful passage in the Qur'an by reminding us that there are things we will never fully understand. Some questions will not be answered in this life. Why this hardship?
Why now? Why me?
These answers are with Allah. Allah then asks a piercing question. Do people think they will be left alone just because they say, "We believe," and they will not be tested? Faith is not a statement. Faith is proven through trials. Allah compares these trials to fire used to purify gold. Gold is not cleaned with water or soap. It must be melted under intense heat so impurities rise and are removed. This comparison is not an insult, it is an honor. Allah is saying, you are valuable. But some impurities inside us only leave through hardship. Through these trials, Allah makes clear who is truthful in their faith and who is not. Some people endure suffering and grow closer to Allah. Others blame Allah for what people do to them. Others turn away when things become difficult. Allah reminds us that injustice does not go unnoticed. Those who commit wrongdoing have not escaped accountability. Justice will come, but on Allah's terms, not ours. Your responsibility is not revenge. Your responsibility is not control. Your responsibility is trust. Whoever hopes to meet Allah should know that meeting is coming. Allah hears every word, knows every pain, and sees every tear, even the ones no one else sees. And whoever continues to strive, continues to hold on to faith, continues to do what is right, does so for their own benefit. Allah does not need our worship, we need it. Prayer is not a burden, it is medicine. When times get hard, prayer is often the first thing people abandon. But cutting prayer is like cutting your lifeline. Even if faith feels weak, do not let go. Even if it feels like a thin thread, hold it. Allah promises that those who maintain faith and good deeds will have their sins erased and will be rewarded based on the best they ever did, not the worst. Allah also promises something else. He will place such believers among righteous company, people who are good for their hearts, their faith, and their future. Not everything Allah gives is money or comfort. Sometimes the greatest gift is protection from people, habits, and paths that would have destroyed us. In the end, Allah exposes true faith and false faith. Faith that remains only when life is easy is not faith, it is convenience. So do not worry. Leave what you cannot control in Allah's hands. Trust His wisdom. Hold on through the fire, because what is waiting with Allah is far greater than anything this world can take from you.